Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into Sin's Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, today we are going to be reviewing The Art of Exile by Andrea Max. Once again, huge thank you to the publisher for sending me a copy of this book. It was great. It's kind of like the Da Vinci Code in a way. It has kind of those vibes. So you're following Ada, right? And Ada is a sire, she discovers. So she is descendant of some of the greatest minds, you know, the people who, Michelangelo and, you know, Da Vinci and all of those, you know, all the classics, artists and innovators of their times, right? And I think it's really great to see the art history aspect of this book. I think that that's really one of the more fascinating parts of this book. So, as she's a sire, she is invited by Michael, who is also one of the youngest teachers at the Genesis school, right? Academy, I'm sorry. He's like 21 and she's 18, and you know, chemistry right there, and it's great. I don't even there are no triggerings, there are no, you know, teacher thing. When they first meet, he thinks she's older, and then once he finds out her actual age and that he's going to be teaching her at the academy, he like shuts down. But you know, there's still that attraction between them and that tension between them, but there is no, he really does try to put himself in the friend zone while also balancing his own attraction to her. And you can see that in the tension between these two characters as they kind of both put themselves in the friend zone. So that tension between Michael and Ada is like, whoo. It's really well done though. And it's not even like a huge age gap, and he is considered a prodigy. You know, he is one of the youngest, he is the youngest teacher because he is a prodigy. So it's really interesting to see their dynamic grow and their relationship change and develop and grow throughout the entire narrative. So she's, again, a sire, and she can use, I really don't want to, like, her body, I didn't write down the specifics of it because it's more interesting to read, but she can bring, as that most sires can, they can use their biological energy to bring things like clay and plant life back to life, or animate it in a way. It's really interesting to see the innovation in this book, and I think the author, I want to applaud her, honestly, because I am a firm believer of you cannot have innovation without the arts. You cannot have science without the arts, because creativity is so stimulating, you know. And I think a lot of people don't realize that creativity, you know, music and artistry and writing, you know, all of that does lead to you being really innovative. I mean, as a child, I grew up at MIT, a little brief history. Grew up at MIT, all of my mom's friends, including my mom. I mean, my mom could play the guitar, but everyone had some sort of artistic talent. And then I went to school at Emerson, right? And everyone there, you know, it's an art college. Everyone there is incredibly artsy, but also really innovative. And I felt intimidated half the time. I was just like, I felt like Ada. Like I wasn't living up to my full potential. And Ada is going through that a lot in this book. So for me, I was able to relate to that because her whole family has kind of made her feel kind of like she was just a disappointment. You know, she had to live up to this. Like she wasn't living up to her full potential. And as she's at this school, she's discovering that she is good enough. Because people keep saying, like, why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep putting yourself down? And she's always like, oh, well, you know. They're like, stop doing that. Stop putting yourself down. They're like, yeah, it can be changed, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Or it doesn't mean that you're bad at it. So I found that to be really relatable to her. You know, she's gone her whole life feeling inadequate, only to discover that she's so far from inadequate. And I think that that's going to relate to a lot of readers out there. But again, I like the art history of the novel itself. I think it's so creative to look back at some of the things they've theorized, you know, and we've seen their sketches, some of the things that have been sketched in their artistry, and just kind of see it be fleshed out and developed. I mean, things like dragons and unicorns and even vampires. There's a scientific element to bringing those things to life that I think was really, really interesting, because it's connected to art. Like, the whole book is art and science in a perfect marriage together. And I absolutely found that fascinating. And I think it was really great that, the author was able to bring it to life in this novel, while also incorporating like this kind of side mystery to it, and giving us a lot of tension, because it's not just tension with her and Michael. There's also tension with her and Rafe, who's this snot. He's kind of like Draco Malfoy. He's a pompous little prick. And I love Draco, but he is a pompous prick. I think I just love Draco because I love Tom Felton. What? He was like my high school crush. Super attractive. And his acting was pretty great. But that's what Rafe is. I can equate Rafe to that. He is, a prince, and he thinks everyone that's born, on the mainland's not knowing about anything is a provincial. That's what they call them, provincials. So he's kind of a prick. And he's like, no one can insult you but me. So they go on this whole enemies to fake dating to its complicated situation. Like, the love triangle there is full of tension, and it's a little steamy, because you can, like, her and Rafe don't like each other, but the chemistry between them is magnetic. And when they go from enemies to fake dating, they have to learn to compromise and kind of be friends with each other. So a camaraderie comes up, and then through that camaraderie, you're seeing their relationship deepen. You're seeing them learn more about each other. You're seeing them really grow, and then steamy stuff happens. It's a really, really exciting book. It's fast-paced. It's full of a lot of energy. I love the creativity. I can't stress that enough. I love the creativity behind it. I think it's just really a fascinating novel to read. And if you love art history, if you love, that bridge between science and the arts truly being connected and married in literature, this is definitely going to be the book for you, because I think Andrea Max, I think that she does it quite perfectly. So, Art of Exile. Sequel to come soon. I've already been messaging her on Instagram, like, I need the sequel and I need it now, please. Thank you. In any case, thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your book loving friends. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, happy reading.